Good morning, everyone. Since 2 days we are planning, we have sessions on demo sessions on what is data science, and I have given the knowledge of what is data science, what are the applications of data science, okay, and I have given the basic information about all the technologies. Now we will start the sessions from today onwards. Let us start with Python programming. Before getting into the Python, first we should know the basic features of Python. Okay, now mostly Python is very simple and easy to learn. Mostly, if you there are two core Python and object-oriented Python. Core Python, it will take just 15 days. We have for simple effort. Now, most of the universities in Europe and America, they will be learn Python in school days only. Nowadays, since 4 years in India, all engineering colleges also they are keeping, instead of C language, they are keeping Python as a beginner's language. Okay, it has very simple syntax and very few keywords, and how much time it will take to learn is just 15 days. It is very much simple. Okay, comparing with C language, C++, and they will take minimum 2 months. Still, it is, most of the people will feel it is difficult. Now, Python is a general purpose language and high level language like C, C++, and Java. Whatever the high level constructs which has in other languages, Python has each and every construct. Now, next concept is portable. I need to discuss this concept because, for example, if you write it .c program, if you compile it, you are going to get .executable file. Okay, wherever we have compiled the program, there itself we have to execute. That is called as machine dependent. Machine dependent. For example, if I write a program, if I compile my program in Windows, I have to execute only in Windows. If I compile my program in Linux, I have to execute the program in Linux only. That means, for example, let us take Java program. Java program has an extension has .java. It has two things, both compile. Whenever we compile it, we will not get .executable file. That we will get .class file. Okay. Now this .class file I can port from one platform to another platform, Windows to Linux, Linux to Mac. There I can execute it. This .class file I can interpret. To get a executable file. Java is having portability, whereas Python is also having portability. Okay, because it is not a compiled language, it is an interpreted language. You write a program in one and you can port it anywhere. Okay, that is called as highly portable, run almost anywhere, which uses machine dependent bytecodes. Now it is one of the most important concept is it is purely object oriented language. Python is purely, everything in Python is an object. Everything in Python is an object, including data types such as integer, float, string. Everything is called as objects. Now, as it is an interpreted language, that means we can see line by line output. We can see the output of line by line. Okay. Now, which has large standard libraries. For this, I need to discuss about one point. Most of the softwares are, I think I should have given free and proprietary. Okay, proprietary means Microsoft, Windows, MS Office, those things. They have copyright protection, copyright. Because most of the software nowadays they're coming up with free and open source software. Open source means they have copy left protection. Copy left means so you can copy the code and you can distribute your friends, anything you can do it. Because of this concept, most of the people they are contributing their own libraries onto this. It is a having large standard libraries, maybe 100 plus 1000 plus libraries we have. Okay, wherever you have free and open source software, you will find hundreds of libraries. But if you are interested, you can also write your own library for Python. Okay, whereas proprietary software, we can't add not even a single line of code, not even we can't see the course source code. But free and open source software, you can open the source code. Okay, you can add a code, you can delete the code, you can redistribute. Okay, now Python having graphical user interface programming with a module called TCL/TK, like how swings will work, how AWT will work, how applets will work. Like this, I can create graphical user interface program. Now Python supports all databases like Oracle, SQL Server, Oracle from Oracle Corporation, SQL Server from Microsoft, and you will be connected to DB2 from IBM, and open source software like MySQL. You can connect to any database directly. Okay, now very important thing is it is having dynamically typed language. What is the meaning of dynamically typed? Because here uh, variables, now dynamical type means you have like let us look at a equal to 10. Now here 10 is called as value that I am assigning to a variable. Normally in C language we are going to discuss, we are going to create a data type. Data type is mandatory. Okay, then we have to also, sometimes we have to also specify storage class. Okay, where here in Python no need to specify the storage class, no need to specify the data type. Now you can ask one question, sir, what will happen without specifying data type? Yes, C++, Java, .NET, C#, where we need to go in this way. Data type is mandatory. In Python, whenever we assign a value, because 10 I will call it as integer, it is going to create an integer object in the memory by itself. Okay, for example, if I have 10.50, if I assign 10.50, then what will happen? Earlier it was an integer, now it will be converted to float. That a variable will be now like this. The variables will be dynamically typed. Okay, variables do not need declaration of data types. And another important point is for C plus Java, you have to end with semicolons. End of the statement has to be separated with semicolon. Whereas in Python, just we will use white spaces to delimit the blocks. No need to specify the semicolons. Okay, now it is the first language in many universities. Most important point is productivity. What is the meaning of productivity? For example, if the same code, if I want to implement a task, for the C language, for example, if C language taking 8 lines of code, LOC stands for lines of code. Okay, Java may take around 6 to 7 lines of code. Same Python will take same code, same task I can implement just with 3 to 4 lines. That is the beauty of Python. Code is 2 to 10 times shorter than C++ and Java. Okay, that means any task can be implemented with very minimal lines of code in Python. So I will call it as reduced development time. It may be range from 2 to 10 times. And another important point is most in Python, 80% of the code is available in the form of built-in functions. Okay, for if you want to implement any job, 80% of the job will be done by functions itself. Only you have to write 20% of the code. Okay. Now, another point is it is open source, which is available in two versions, 2.x and 3.x. But never use 2.x. Current version is 3.10. Okay. These are the basic features of Python. Okay. Any queries?
No, sir.
Actually, yes. mostly I'm starting the topics, each and every topic from the scratch. So first let me start my discussion with identifiers. Identifiers are, yeah, please.
Nothing.
Yeah. For example, now if I want to create a variable, okay, identifiers are the names used to identify an object, such as I can write a variable, module, a class, or a function, anything, but I had to follow some rules. As a beginner, we should follow how to write identifiers. The first and foremost thing is the first character can be uppercase character or lowercase character or underscore. You should not, identifier cannot start with a digit. Digit means 0 to 9. I can use small a to z, capital A to Z, or underscore. Underscores is also valid for the first character. This rule applicable only for the first character of the identifier. Now, I can give any long sequence of characters. Normally in Windows, we will give 8 characters. In Linux, we can give up to 64 characters. But in Python, you can give any long sequence of identifiers. We can't give because as a programmer, we will follow some sort of guidelines of that language. But we will give only 6 to 8 lines depending upon the our. Now, we can't use any special characters like exclamatory mark, at the rate, hash, dollar, percentage, comma, full stop. We can't use the special characters. Now, you can find the special characters in your number keypad. Okay, if you observe this number keypad, whatever the special characters are there, that we can't apply. Now, keywords should not be used. Every language has their own keywords. Okay, like C language has around 36 keywords, Python has around 28. Like this, you can't use keywords. Very important thing is, very important thing is, Python is case sensitive. That means uppercase data is different from lowercase data. Is it okay? By following these guidelines, now could you please tell me whether they are valid or not? AB 100. Here, first character is a character, so it is valid. Second one is underscore. It is also valid. Underscore ABC, it is valid. But 100, this is invalid. It is invalid. Here, A plus B, I'm using special characters. It is also not valid. For is a keyword, it is not valid. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I can also test whether the identifiers are valid or not by using a function called isIdentifier. IsIdentifier is a function which is used to check if the identifier name is valid or not, because it will take a string as argument and which returns a boolean. Boolean means true or false. In Python, true or false, the first character must be uppercase. Okay. In C language, we will write all the characters are with lowercase, true, false. Whereas in Python, whenever we are representing boolean, the first character must be uppercase T. In false, the first character F will be uppercase. Okay. Now, just a minute. Now, do you have the basic knowledge of using most of the cases in my programming? I used to use ANACONDA distributions. Okay. Now, just give me 1 minute. Now, here, I'm going to use ANACONDA as a IDE for executing our programs. Okay. You should go for ANACONDA individual edition. Type it in a. First of all, we should know what the environment is. Now, we are going to use ANACONDA individual edition. Okay, it is a free and open source software. Okay. Now, click on here. ANACONDA distribution. You will be navigated to this page. Simply just go down. Here you are finding the distributions of ANACONDA. Depending upon your operating system of your machine, maybe Windows, maybe Mac, or maybe Linux. Okay. You have to select, it is available with the two versions, 32-bit version and 64-bit version. Okay, simply download it and click OK. You will be installed that Anaconda into your machine. Okay. Now,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sending this through WhatsApp. There are 3 to 4 links are coming up. Kindly follow this link only. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you.
Just a minute. I'm getting WhatsApp and I will forward it.
Okay.
Just a minute. It is WhatsApp is opening slowly nowadays.
Yes. Yeah, I even observed it.
Yes. Okay, this link you follow it for downloading. Now, once this software has been downloaded, simply what you do is directly go down and you will be getting this option. Okay, please simply type, look at here, Anaconda. Okay, are you getting me?
Yes.
Simply you type Anaconda Navigator. Okay,
Okay.
Anaconda Navigator. There are so many ways are there. I will discuss one by one. Just a minute. Look at here, Anaconda Navigator. Click on the Anaconda Navigator. Okay, this is
Okay.
first option. Just double click it. It will take 2 to 3 minutes. First time it will take 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Just a minute. Then it will show you the green circle. First time it will take just 3 minutes.
Okay.
Normally I used to start all these sessions in the entry of the session, but today I was a little bit 2 minutes late.
Okay. No worries.
Night I have a session on data science for US people, 2 people. They had a project session personally.
Okay. Oh, okay. You mentioned that we have like 6-week classes, right? Do we have it on Saturday also?
6 days only, including if mostly US people will not prefer.
Okay.
Yeah, we will see. Okay, no issue for us. Okay.
No problem. Yeah. Okay, sir.
If you are having any work before the Friday, you tell me. Then we will close the sessions. Okay. Let it
Okay.
come. It
That
is
works.
opening anyway. Once it let it open, we will continue the session. And once it is open, we will go to the session. Okay. It is opening still.
Okay.
Now my machine has so many servers, so it was a little bit late. Now, first and foremost thing is we should know how to create a variables in Python. Okay. Now, variables are reserved memory locations to store values. Now, just now I discussed about a equal to 10. What internally will happen when you declare like this? No need to specify the data type, no need to specify the storage location. I'm not giving storage location like C language. I'm not giving data type, but still it is valid in Python only. Okay, don't use this concept in other languages, because whenever I create like this, what will happen? 10 is called as value, A is called as variable. I'm assigning a value 10 into the variable A. When this happens within the memory, it is going to create by int object. Now you can say one question, sir, how can you say that it is by int object? Because 10 is an integer. it is going to create pi into object, and it will be having a value a equal to 10. And it is going to create a 16 digit. It is going to create a 16 digit unique identifier. It is going to create 16 digit unique identifier for this variable. Unique identifier. This is what happens in the memory. Okay. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Whenever you create a variable value to a value, internally it is going to create a pi into object and a equal to 10 with a 16-digit unique identifier will be created in the memory. Okay. When you create a variable, you reserve some space in the memory. Okay. Then Python variables do not need explicit declaration to reserve memory space. That means no need to specify the data type. Now, the declaration happens automatically when you assign a value to a variable like this. Now, for that, we are going to use equal to operator. Clear? Now, let us look at here. 100 is an integer. This 100 is an integer. Now, I'm assigning to a variable 1. Now, I have to use a print statement. I will discuss it. Where if I use variable 1, it is going to print it as 100. If I use a type is a built-in function. Now, type of that variable 1 means it is going to say it is integer. Is it okay? Now, if I store 1000.50 with real values, now we will call it as float point. If I am assigning float variable to variable 2, it is going to create a pi float object. Pi float object that we should know. This is the one of the important interview question. Okay, internally what will happen? Variable 2 equal to 1000 point, any real value, whatever value you have, you store it. Now, if I want to know type of that variable 2, it is going to show it as float. Then third kind is called as a string. A string is called as group of characters. Okay, a string is called as group of characters. Group of characters. Okay, declared either with double quotes or single quotes. Both are valid in Python. Okay, either you can use single quotes or you can use double quotes. Both are valid. Okay. Now, whenever I assign the string to the variable, it is going to string. If you ask me type of that variable 3, it will be called as string. Okay. That means depending upon the value which we are assigning to the variable, which is going to create that kind of data type. Clear for you?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now, I can assign a single value to multiple variables. Now, X will get 10, Y will get 10, and Z will get 10. That means Python allows us to assign a single value to several variables simultaneously. This is possible in all languages. Now I'm assigning multiple variables with the multiple values. This happens only in Python. Now 10 will go to X, 25.5 is a float which will go to Y, Python is a string which will go to Z. Okay, that means Python allows us to assign multiple values to several multiple variables simultaneously. Now X means it is going to 10, Y means it is going to get 25.5, and Z means it is going to get Python. Now, most of the students are asking one question, sir, what happens if I give X comma Y equal to these 3 values? There is an error. Okay. Right side, how many values we are assigning. Left side, you should have that many number of variables. Okay. It should match. Okay. If there is any mismatch, some errors will occur. Now, here, right side, I'm assigning 3 values. Now, left side, you should have 3 variables. Okay.
Okay.
Now, there is another concept. Left side, you can have one variable, and right side, you can have multiple variables. Still, it is valid because of only one concept called tuple that will come in the next coming sessions. There is the reasons I cannot discuss right now. Once again, remember carefully. If you have only one variable, still it is valid. Now, if you permit me, I will demonstrate all these things.
Yeah, sure, sir.
And one more final point. Now, without assigning a value, n, for example, n equal to 10. then I can use, I have a print function. Print is a function which is used to print anything onto the console. Okay. Now it is a print, just print function. Print of n means it is going to print the value as 10. For example, without assigning any value, if I use it, it will say error. Okay. What error it will say? Name error, because in the memory that variable has not been allocated. Okay, so if you want to use any variables, you should assign some value. That is the mandatory in Python. Okay, this is a caution also.
Okay.
If a variable is not defined, assign value. Now try to use, it will give some error. It is not invalid. It is not syntax error. It is a olden. Nowadays it is giving name error. Okay.
Okay.
Shall I go? Now let me demonstrate. Now let me end the show and go for Anaconda. Now this is the Anaconda environment. Okay. Anaconda environment is giving up so many IDEs. One such kind of IDE is Jupyter Notebook. Most of the people, beginners, they will use Jupyter Notebook. Just simply launch it.
Okay.
You will be navigated and open one Jupyter Notebook in your browser, concerned browser.
Okay.
Look at here.
Yeah.
Within the browser, one window will get open. Within this window, if you want to have a new Jupyter Notebook, click on New and Python 3. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to create this Jupyter Notebook in my desktop. First, let me give my location in desktop. I wanted to create a new Python 3. 3 is nothing but 3.10. Actually, in the market, 3.10 is there, but the stable version is 3.9. Okay. Now,
Okay.
it's called as Jupyter Notebook.
So if we give
Here,
the location, yeah.
which
Sorry.
one?
If we give
Which
the
one?
location as a desktop, so will it
Yeah.
be the desktop?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'll show you. But here, no. Here, Untitled.
Oh, yeah.
Jupyter has been created with Untitled. Now I will name it. Just look at here.
Okay.
I will name file rename. Okay.
Okay.
First. Okay. I have given first name. Here, Jupyter Notebooks will be having extension .ipynb. .ipynb. Normally, Python programs has an extension called .py. That also I will showcase. Okay. Now, simple here you can type a print of hello to my first text. Now simply click on run here. Okay, like this, each and every cell I can run. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you want to do some mathematical operation, 1 + 1, then 2 multiplied by 5, everything you can do it. Now, Python, you can use it as a calculator also. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this file is saved it. Here, let me show the options. For example, if you want to increase the cells, click on here. Okay. Increase the cells. You can increase any number of cells. Now, this is the button used for cutting the cells, scissor. Okay.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I will also show you. Now, you can use these cells as a documentation, as a code also. For that, you can please go here, cell type. You can also make it as markdown. Markdown means now I will do some sort of documentation. Okay. Now, I'm going to give a title for this. Now, look at here what is happening. Now, this here, I can pass some hash symbols. Whenever I'm increasing the hash, the size of title will get increased. I can give up to 5. Okay, clear?
Yes. Okay.
Now, here once again, cell. I can also make it as code block. If I make code block, this will get comment. Okay, hash means comment in Python. Clear? Now look at here how it is executing. Now here I can use 1 + 9. This will execute. Remember carefully, cell. By default, it is a code block. You can also make it as markdown. Means you can do some commenting here. You can write some documentation here. Okay.
Okay.
Now, some cases, sometimes the program may not work. You have to see that kernel. Okay, kernel restart. If the system is not working satisfactorily, you can go for kernel. Okay. Whenever you write this kernel, it will come like this: kernel is ready. It will show a message: kernel is ready. Trust before here, I will show a message. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is a Jupyter notebook. Who loves this Jupyter notebook? The people, those who are coming as a new to the Python, they likes this Jupyter notebook. Okay.
Okay.
Even in all my 2.5 month sessions, I will execute all my programs in Jupyter notebook only. Okay, because once if you are good in programming, then you will find another book. If you permit me, I will close this. Simply look at here, file, close and halt. Okay, simply file, close and halt. Okay, you can close this browser. There will be no issue. Okay, then Jupyter notebook is one IDE, and I'm going to get another IDE, beautiful IDE called as Spider. Now let me launch it. It will take minimum 15 seconds to 1 minute. Let it open. Let it open. We will start the session.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, it is opening.
Okay.
Maybe today only we will have this much of break slowly, because first time tomorrow onwards, I used to open all the files before starting of the class.
Yeah, that's fine. You're showing me anyways. So.
Yes. Most of the people will like a spider. Okay, who likes this spider? If they have basic knowledge of Python. Okay, because if we want to write multiple statements in Jupyter, I can write, but people will feel bored. Here in Spider, you can see three things in the same window. I'll show you just a minute.
Okay, I think in notebook we have to add a cell every time we write a line.
No. You can write multiple, but you have to spare. You have to set. Now look at here. If you observe this carefully, the left side window you are seeing it as a program window where we have to type the code. Okay, just a minute. What is the RAM in your machine? You should have minimum 8. Okay, maximum 16. Okay.
Okay.
How much RAM you have?
I'm not sure of it, sir. It's an old one, so I have to
Check it after the class. Make sure that it should be minimum 8 is sufficient for us. Okay, because we have to deal with hundreds of thousands of records now.
Yeah.
Now, look at here. Now, I am writing a function. Print is a built-in function. Here, it will within double quotes. I'm writing some code. Okay, whatever the code I will write here, simply I will print here. This is now a comma b equal to 10 comma 20. Now print a comma b. Now let me here. This is the green button. Click on here. You will see all the outputs here. Okay, I can write multiple statements. Simply click on here. For example, if I want to execute only the single line, I will select here. Please run the current cell. Even though I'm running current cell, it is running. Okay, now this is called as console window, where we can see the all outputs. Clear for you?
Yes.
Now the left side window is called as program window, where I can type any lines of code. Okay, now the right side we have another window called source window or console window, where we are finding variable explorer. You can see the beauty of what is a variable, what is the data type, what is the size, and what is the value of the variable. Also you can see variable explorer. Okay.
Okay.
Now just give me 1 minute. Just a minute.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you one more beauty. Here For example, if you instead of this, I can also write a small code like this. Now I am running it. Look at here carefully. Just a minute. Here I am not printing anything, but go to plots. Yes, I have drawn some line. Matplotlib is a library. Matplotlib is a library which is used to draw visualizations. Okay. NumPy is a library for taking mathematical operation. Now here I'm taking two arrays, X array, Y array with some points. Now I'm asking plot with X points and Y points dot show. Here the plots will be visible. I wanted to show you the plots here. Okay. Here you can also see the variable explorer. Okay. Here, if you don't have any variables, plots, and if you want help anything, here you will get help here. Okay. Help window. And if you want to have file explorer, you can see all the files in that machine. Okay. That means everything you can see in a single screen. So most of the people, most of the programmer means he's already know what to do. Okay. They will like spider tool. Okay. Beginners, it is better to use Jupyter notebook only. Okay.
Okay.
Now, shall I close this? File.
Yeah.
If you want to save it, file, save as. Now look at the extension, what extension you are getting. Now I'm giving desktop some file, save. Normally I'm going to clean my memory for every 10 days. I'll try, otherwise I'll try to reduce the servers. Sorry, it's taking so much time. Spider with it will happen with Spider. For Jupyter notebook, it will not happen.
Okay. So like from the time they have like introduced Python, this Spider and Jupyter notebook were always there, or is it a new addition?
Still, once again, please repeat.
From the time they have introduced Python language, so
Okay.
Spider and Jupyter both have been there from.
They are not there. Let me explain this concept. We have beautiful question, please. Let me explain this question. Let it happen. Let it execute.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't have IDEs. Apart from that, you have, if you want to still go about python.org, that option also I will tell you. Okay, this is the website if you want to learn about Python, only Python. Okay, now here they have given the beautiful course also. This is a Fibonacci number. I'll discuss it. Downloads, but here Windows. Here you will get Python versions. Look at here, Windows, downloads. Click at here, Python 3.10.5. You can install it. Now look at stable version. Python 3.9 cannot be used for Windows 7 or earlier. These conditions you must follow. Okay. Now, these are the distributions that are available. Python 3. When you click it and install it, if you click it and install it, now let me close this. Now, here you will get just you download this Python and click install it. Then simply type idle here. You will get a tool called idle, IDLE. Now, IDLE. Now the current version I have is 3.9.64. Okay, please. This is how the normal Python programs will be executed. I'll show you. This is called as I can execute only core Python programs. Just give me 1 minute. If I want to go for machine learning, data science, it will be trouble for us. Now here you can execute print. Just a minute. This is called as console. Print hello to my first. That's it. Okay. Close it. Okay. Simply debug. Shell. Just give me 1 minute. just enter. Okay, here
Okay.
it is executing my code. Now 1 plus 1, whatever I have done in Jupyter notebook, it is executing all these things. It is executing. Okay, this is one way. For example, if you want to write a Python program here, what you have to do is simply open Notepad, any Notepad. Simply open any Notepad. Here you type the program printf hello program, double quotes it, and save this as file, save as. I'm saving in the desktop and save it as some first any file name .py. Okay, and always you should have all files here. Here basically the Python program has a .py extension. It's the same.
Okay.
Look at here what happened. Look at here. First, you got it first now?
Yes.
Now this is called as Python file. This is the symbol will come for Python. Okay.
Okay.
Simply click on right side, open with idle, run it. This is one way, but normally I don't prefer this kind of, because I will go for IDEs only. What is the benefit of IDE? I will discuss.
Okay.
Okay, simply run here, run module. You'll get output here. Are you getting?
Yeah, got it.
Normally, this I don't prefer for my programming, because my programs consisting of 50 lines, 100 lines. If I type in this way, it will become. Now you can ask one question, sir. What is the advantage of your IDE? Okay, I will explain in 2 minutes.
Okay.
IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Okay, where we can type a program, we can compile or interpret a program. You are going to get help. You are going to get documentation. You are going to see everything on a single window, like how we have seen in Jupyter Notebook, how we have seen in Spider. There are some other tools also available, like IPython is also tool is available. Okay, that means everything I can see within a single window without navigating to other windows. That is the beauty of IDEs. Okay, one such kind of IDE is free and open source is Anaconda. Okay. Now with this, shall I go to Jupyter Notebook to discuss this task?
Sure.
Yeah, just a minute. Normally, I don't prefer this kind of opening entire thing. I'm quitting all these things, please. Now, simple version I will show you. I'm closing all these windows. Whenever you open your window, directly you switch on like this. Jupyter Notebook. If you want to launch only Jupyter Notebook, simply type Jupyter Notebook. It will come directly. Okay, it will take just 10 seconds.
Okay.
It will get open in your browser. Look at here. In desktop, I have my first file, first.ipnb. Now I'll execute my program. Look at identifies variables. Just give me 1 minute. I have some files let me take my first program. I look at here extension IPYNB. Now my file is opening. Look, identifier variables operator basic data type .ipynb. Now you can ask one question, sir. within Python, you told that .py an extension, and now why you are showing .ipynb as an extension? You may have some doubt in your mind. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have that question in your mind, file, look at here, downloads. You can download your program as per your request. .py also you can download it. The same program you are downloading as .py. Okay.
Okay.
Keep here. Now here, is it looking like a normal Python program?
Yes.
Look at here, show in folder. Is it normal Python program? Edit with the Notepad++. You can see the outcome.
Yeah.
Print hello world, and this is my code. This is my code. Okay, because these statements are nothing but before my program, I will have some numbers now. They will come here. Okay. Now print hello world. This is my first. If you want to clear the outputs of all these things, go to all output, clear. Here earlier executions will get removed. Print hello world. Then I'm asking underscore is identifier. Yes, underscore is identifier. Then 99 is called as age identifier. It will be false. Okay, I told you now it is going to take a string object and it is going to return boolean, either true or false. Okay. Now here I'm using variable equal to 100. Print off that variable 1. Print function is used to print everything onto the console. I'm using a built-in function called type of variable 1, which is going to print it as int. Int is a type of object because it is referring to a class. Now I'm taking another variable called as float. 1000.06 is a float. In Jupyter Notebook, even without giving one print statement, you can use it, but it is make it as mandatory as giving print statements. Okay, print of type 2 means it is going to give it as float. Look at here. Now I'm taking group of characters is called a string, enclosed either single quotes or double quotes. Now, what is the data type of this string? It is called as str. Now, I can assign a single value to multiple variables. Now, print x comma y comma z, I can give like this. Or independently also you can give print x, print y. Okay, print z. Now, here I'm assigning multiple values. 10 will go to x, 25.5 will go to y, and Python will go to z. Print x comma y comma z means it is going to print everything. Now I will remove this variable and I will show you. This will be error. Look at here. I have not assigned any value. Still, if I want to use it, it is going to give me name error. Okay. Yeah. Earlier it is used to give it a syntax error in older versions. What is the error? Name error. Name n is not defined. If you want to use this variable, simply assign any value. Here I'm assigning a value 100. Now I can use it. Okay. Okay. Whenever you assign some value to the variable, then it is going to register some space in the memory. Okay. And along with the space, which is also now, if you want to see what is the ID, right here, a unique identifier. For that, there is a function called built-in function called ID. ID of n. Now look at here. It is going to give me a 16-digit number, unique identifier. It is a unique identifier. Now I'll create one more variable, n1 equal to 200. Now print ID of n comma ID of n1. Look at here, two different identifiers. This is a unique identifier 808 808. Here I have to use n2. Sorry, here I have to use n. Look at here. Sorry, it is n1. It is n1. Now it is 808. It is 008. These two are different. Okay. Right. Now, one more beauty I'll show you. Look at here. If I have same value, if both variables are having same value, look at here what is happening. Both will be located in a same location. N is pointing to same location and N1 is also pointing to same location. Is it okay? Yeah. Okay. Now, as of today, slowly we will start the session, and you just install the system machines in your the softwares into your machine. Okay.
Yes, I'll do that. I'll be ready with it tomorrow.
Okay. Now I will send this file to you right now within the WhatsApp group. Every day you are going to get videos will be shared by the institute, and programs and files will be, information will be shared by me. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir. And
Yeah.
also, like, after each topic, are we also getting the interview questions? Like once we.
Sure. Sure. While teaching the class, I will
Okay.
teach the interview questions. You please write down in your notebook while as a running notes.
Okay. Yeah.
I will also give interview questions at the end of the part. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it is better to have a running notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
I will say that this point is important for interview purpose. You please write it as a red pen. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
And while teaching, I will say some important points. I will say that this is important point. That also you had make it as highlight.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
When you say, I will add it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. With this, shall we start today?